Something profoundly powerful is unfolding in your life right now, and you may not even realize it. You go through your daily routine, waking up, working, eating, scrolling through your phone, perhaps hitting the gym, or most days not. Everything seems normal, seemingly in order. But unbeknownst to you, you've been insidiously adopting practices that are silently eroding one of the most crucial pillars of your well-being: your sexual health. Sexual health is not a privilege, nor a matter of chance. It is a direct reflection of your lifestyle. And no, this isn't just new age wellness mumbo-jumbo. We're talking about science, biology, concrete facts. What's most shocking about all of this is that the biggest culprits aren't extreme vices or grave situations. They are small, everyday habits, common things, seemingly harmless things, but which, in aggregate, become devastating over time. And today, I want to open your eyes to 3 habits that, if you continue to ignore, will keep draining your libido, your self-esteem, your energy, and even your capacity to connect emotionally with those you love. The worst part? There's no clear warning. The damage creeps in, takes root, and before you know it, it's impacting your relationship, your confidence, and even your mental health. Let's begin with the first habit: hyperconnectivity. You wake up and grab your phone. The last thing you see before going to sleep? Your phone. Throughout the day, multiple tabs open, notifications, messages, short videos, an overload of images. Your brain is in a constant state of hyperstimulation. And what does this have to do with sex life? Absolutely everything. The excess dopamine generated by this flood of visual stimuli makes real pleasure, that experienced in touch, affection, intimacy, seem mundane. It's as if the brain is being reprogrammed to seek only the peak of instant gratification. This generates disinterest in human contact, reduces desire, and directly interferes with performance. This digital deluge of stimuli also compromises your capacity for concentration and disrupts your hormonal balance, particularly testosterone levels. Testosterone is not solely associated with sexual desire, but also with your energy, courage, and sense of purpose. A decline in this hormone, even a subtle one, can render you more apathetic, lethargic, and disengaged from life. The second habit is even more insidious, because it wears the mask of comfort and convenience: ultra-processed food. We live in an era of instant gratification. Fast food, frozen meals, delivery services. It's practical, it's affordable, it's fast. But it's also inflammatory, in the most literal sense of the word. Ultra-processed foods are laden with artificial fats, dyes, preservatives, and hidden sugars. All these elements trigger silent inflammations in the body, disrupt hormone balance, and directly impact blood circulation. The result? Low libido, erectile dysfunction, diminished sensitivity, and constant fatigue. Be not deceived. Even that fit bar or that industrialized natural juice can contain ingredients that do more harm than good. The key lies in the quality of the food. What you consume constructs your body from within, including your sexual response. A body intoxicated responds poorly to stimuli. An inflamed organism rejects pleasure. Here's an interesting fact. Men and women who consume natural, whole, and minimally processed foods have up to 42% higher odds of maintaining an active and fulfilling sex life after age 40. This isn't about aesthetics. It's about vitality. And perhaps the third habit, the most normalized of all, and precisely because of that, the most dangerous, is sleep deprivation. Sleeping poorly has become almost a badge of honor in modern society. Those who sleep little are seen as productive, resilient, and dedicated. But the reality behind this facade is bleak. Lack of deep restorative sleep directly affects cortisol and testosterone levels, reduces dopamine production, and negatively impacts your libido. Moreover, sleep is responsible for resetting the brain. It is during sleep that the nervous system reorganizes itself, hormones balance out, and tissues regenerate. To sleep poorly is not merely fatigue. It is self-sabotage. It is akin to attempting to drive a car with a punctured fuel tank. Now that you're aware of these 3 habits that are hindering you more than you realize, I want to invite you to a commitment of change. But before that, a special request. Since you've made it this far, it signifies that you're truly invested in enhancing the quality of your life, and that fills me with immense enthusiasm. So here's what you should do. Subscribe to this channel, because content like this will keep coming. Always in depth, well-researched, and with that directness you've already noticed we don't hold back on. And take a moment to share in the comments. Which of these 3 habits do you recognize in your daily life? Be honest. Express yourself in your own words. No beating around the bush, no shame. Your experience could be an eye-opener for someone else. And if you've overcome any of them, share how you did it. This isn't just a video, it's a platform for exchange. Now that we've discussed these habits, it's crucial to understand why so many people fall into them unconsciously. The answer lies in how our brain processes pleasure and reward. Humans are inherently wired to seek comfort and avoid discomfort. This is deeply ingrained in our biology. However, when comfort morphs into an addiction, it evolves into a gilded cage. Individuals like Andre, a 38-year-old, failed to recognize the trap in time. He toiled as a content editor, spending countless hours hunched over his computer, adhering to a poor diet, sacrificing sleep, and all the while believing he was doing all right by enduring such a strenuous lifestyle. However, he gradually began to experience a decline in his libido. Initially, he attributed it to mere stress, but as time progressed, he realized something was amiss. His desire had waned, and even when he attempted to engage, his body remained unresponsive. Andre sought help, and in his investigation, discovered that he wasn't suffering from any serious illness. The problem stemmed from his lifestyle choices. What's most intriguing is that by altering his routine, encompassing regular sleep, a vibrant diet, and digital disengagement before bedtime, he regained his sexual vitality in under 3 months. Stories like this are not uncommon. However, they demand courage. The courage to look inward, to acknowledge our mistakes, and to choose the most challenging path in the short term, the path of change. But this path is ultimately rewarding, and profoundly so. Sexuality is more than just an act. It is a reflection of your vital energy, your connection with your own being, your ability to surrender. And this capacity only blossoms when the body is well, when the mind is clear, and when hormones are in harmony with your lifestyle. Did you know that sexual health also influences your productivity, mood, and even creativity? Studies show that people with an active and fulfilling sex life exhibit greater mental clarity, improved performance on complex tasks, and lower levels of anxiety. This is because pleasure activates areas of the brain associated with well-being, reward, and motivation. In other words, taking care of your sexuality is also about taking care of your emotional health. That's why neglecting these daily habits is so dangerous. You're not just impacting your performance in the bedroom, you're affecting your entire life. Another often overlooked aspect is that individuals with low sexual self-esteem tend to isolate themselves, shy away from relationships, and conceal their vulnerability. This, in turn, creates a vicious cycle. The more you withdraw, the fewer connections you make. The fewer connections you have, the more isolated you feel. And as we are well aware, loneliness is a leading contributor to anxiety and depression in our time. And here's a crucial point. You can rewrite this narrative. It doesn't matter your age or how long you've neglected these aspects. The body is remarkably intelligent. It possesses the inherent ability to regenerate. All it requires is for you to provide it with the appropriate environment. Let's conclude with a commitment. Not with me, but with yourself. The commitment to observe your habits, to make small but consistent adjustments. Sleep better, eat better, use your phone less, and pursue what truly nourishes you. It seems simple, but it changes everything. It's not about becoming perfect, but becoming more mindful. Someone who chooses to live with greater awareness. Someone who understands that pleasure, energy, and vitality are daily constructions, and that you hold that power within your grasp. And if this video was helpful to you, I invite you to take a step further. Subscribe to the channel, but do so with purpose. Here we speak authentically, without fluff or magical solutions. I want you to be a part of this journey with us. Our community is expanding, welcoming individuals like you who aspire to improve their lives. Real people, sharing real stories. So, share your thoughts here. What did you learn today? What resonated with you? Have you ever experienced something similar? Let's create a safe space for open dialogue. And if this video helped you in any way, share it with someone you love. Because sometimes the right information at the right time can change an entire life.